Hello, everybody. How are you doing? My name is Gary Furlong. I'm a narrator, and today I'm going to be narrating for you a little piece of an upcoming project with Soundbooth Theatre called What the Frost by Ben Wolfe. Now, there is an original audiobook. This is a multicast version of the same audiobook called What the Frost, narrated by Andy McCain. So, let's just get going. I think is good. All right. So, and if any of you have ever seen Soundbooth actors narrate live before, maybe you'll be familiar with this, but maybe some of you won't be. So if you look up oh, why can't I do this? Here, you'll see this is my Ableton Live set. That's the cover for the book underneath it. And you'll see how we separate out the tracks for other actors to come in. So for this particular session, I'm going to narrate everything. But the final version of the book, I won't be narrating everything. There'll be other actors putting their voices in to make it sound amazing. So, let us begin. Have my set ready? Chapter 1. Date: Christmas Eve. Time: 3:24 p.m. Samoan time. Location: North Pole. Also, I will say, and I'll try not to do many of these tangents, but if you listen to Soundbooth Theatre books, you will know that sometimes we like to put in the old sound effects and efforts to enhance the experience. So we're going to do that today. In order to do this next bit, I will have to lower my gain a bit. Read a lot. 4 p.m. Samoan time. Location: North Pole. 4 p.m. Samoan time. I think I clipped the microphone even though I was way down. Holy shit, that's so loud. It's too loud. Bring it down. Oh, it's so badly clipped. That's, oh my god. I thought I went down enough. I didn't. I'm not doing that scream again. It's going to remain clipped. Oh, that's truly awful. Okay. We're doing it again. I'm not even submitting this audio. And I just can't abide by it being clipped. Wah! Wah! Here we go. That's better. North Pole. That's not clipped. Ha! That'll do. That'll do. Right. The line in the book is, and we will include it for this, is a shriek snapped Santa out of his slumber and he jerked upright. I am inclined to maybe just do this. Santa, what? Nope. Santa snapped out of his slumber and jerked upright. So you see what I mean? We're putting in the little bits. Or we can just do the normal line, and we can always get approval after. A shriek snapped Santa out of his slumber, and he jerked upright. His heavy stocking-clad feet hit the floor, and his girth spilled out of the bed as he stood. Nope. What the hell? Spilled out of the bed as he stood. What? No. Another shriek. No. A woman's voice? No. It belonged to Crandall, one of Santa's elves and the North Pole stablemaster. Santa clapped his hands twice, and the LED lights on the ceiling gleamed to life. Pole stablemaster. Santa clapped his hands twice, and the LED hands twice. clapped his hands twice and to life. Whoa, wrong track, baby. Don't do it. I don't like that. Ha 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 hum. Am I on the right track? I am. The door flung open and Shelley Claus, Santa's wife, stormed in. Her evergreen nightgown clung. Well, there's clearly a full stop there that I just decided, no, that doesn't need to be there. Because I can read. I'm able to read. I know how. The door flung open and Shelley Claus, Santa's wife, stormed in. Her evergreen nightgown clung to her in all the right places, but she wore a mask of terror. Nick, you've got to come now. It's Crandall. She's supposed to have a Swedish accent. I don't think I can do a very good Swedish accent. And my default is the guy from Frozen who goes, Big Summer Blood, which I don't think is real. But I'm not going to, Shelley is not going to sound like Big Summer Blowout Man. Thankfully, a talented person is going to do their voice. Okay. You've got to come now. It's Crandall. Santa! You've come now. It's Crandall. Santa! Crandall. Santa! So the line in the book is Crandall wailed again, this time crying for Santa by name, which we can show by just having a bit of a screech. Santa rubbed the eyes from his sleep. Yeah, that's definitely not what's written. Santa rubbed the sleep from his eyes. He glanced at the clock. The Swedish chef? Can you imagine? Oh, goodness. Nick, you've got to come now. No. Be terrible. Don't think we could do it. Well, you're very kind, Kyle. Thank you. Santa rubbed the sleep from his eyes. He glanced at the clock on his nightstand. 3:25 p.m. Samoan time. 14 hours until his first delivery. But he'd awakened 35 minutes early. Rather, Crandall's shrieks had awakened him. Now, Nick! Shelley insisted. He's hurt the bed. I'm not doing that. That is not what's going to happen in this book. Shelley's a straight hottie. She does not sound like the Swedish chef. He's hurt the bed. Absolutely, I can't abide by that. I'm leaving it in because that won't be in the final version. It will not be in the final version. Absolutely not. Bed. Santa's heart pounded faster as he lumbered past Shelley and into their expansive living room. Thick pine logs formed towering brown walls, and multicolored Christmas lights lined the festive upper perimeter of the ceiling. Crandall lay in the center of the living room, surrounded by an expanding pool of blood on the lacquered pinewood floor. In place of his left hand, a red stump oozed blood. Crandall clutched his wrist with his right hand. With his right hand? With his right hand? I don't think so. Blood. Crandall clutched his wrist with his right hand, moaning and writhing on the floor. Santa rushed over to him. Jumping gingerbread! What happened, Crandall? Crandall shook his head. His voice sounded even higher pitched than usual. I'm going to go down a little bit for this. Red stump oozed blood. Crandall clutched his wrist with his right hand, moaning and writhing on the floor. Santa rushed over to him. Jumping gingerbread! What happened, Crandall? Crandall shook his head. His voice sounded even higher pitched than usual.
Something's wrong, boss! There's something bad!
Crandall clutched his wrist with his right hand, moaning and writhing on. Santa rushed over to him. Jumping gingerbread! What happened, Crandall? Crandall shook his head. His voice sounded even higher pitched than usual.
Something's wrong, boss! Something bad! Something bad!
Shelley, call Gypswitch. Tell him to bring his medical bag. Already did. Centuries of experience kicked in, and Santa said, Then get some towels. We need to stop the bleeding. Shelley disappeared into the bedroom. Crandall moaned again. His voice shook. No, there's a full stop. When there's a full stop, you stop. That's basic reading 101. That's what they teach in narrator school. I don't think there's a narrator school. Stop the bleeding. My speakers on? How dare you? Stop the bleeding! Bleeding! Shelley disappeared into the bedroom. Crandall moaned again. His voice shook as he said, and Santa said, Then get some towels. We need to stop the bleeding. Shelley disappeared into the bedroom. Crandall moaned again. His voice shook as he said,
It was Blitzen! He's lost it! He got a hold of my hand! Don't you... chopped it right off! Right off!
What? Santa recoiled. He's the jolliest of them all. Did you provoke him? Crandall shook his head, and tears rolled down his cheeks.
He just bit me, Santa! He just did it on his own!
I can't do this loud. I'm gonna turn it down. His cheeks.
He just bit me, Santa! He just did it on his own! He's become an antlered menace!
On his cheeks. Oh, there's clearly a little bit of how Sorry about that, everyone. I clicked the wrong button and ejected myself from my own takeover. What happened? I'm technically savvy. That's what happened. I'm not. Really not. He's back! What was I doing? What was I doing besides ruining everything? Where is this little thing? I want to resize this window, please. Thank you very much. Stop being a butt face. There we go. Right. Yeah, mad technical skills? Yeah, I can use a phone. Did you know? I know how to do it. I even have one. Right, that's big enough that I can see. Very good. Cool. Right.
Menace!
That would not survive proofing either, I don't think. Clipped a small bit.
Menace!
In close to a century of serving in Santa's sleigh team, Blitzen had never displayed any aggression whatsoever. Yet now Crandall lay in Santa's living room, bleeding out on the floor, naming Blitzen the culprit.
He ate my hand, Santa! He ate it! He ate it!
No, that's just... that wouldn't live either. Well, I'm turning it down. Just doing it. Blitzen the culprit.
He ate my hand, Santa! He ate it!
Guys, I haven't closed my booth door just because I get more fresh air if I do that. I hope no one's outside the house, as I am screeching. And I worry that someone will be called to come investigate me.
I ate it!
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I ate it!
It's very loud.
I ate it!
That's so loud. All right. I'll have to turn that down. We can fix it in post or present. Blah. Santa shook his head. Even the suggestion of it. Santa shook his head. Even the suggestion of it twisted his insides sour. That's absurd, Crandall. Reindeer are herbivorous. Crandall slung a slew of profanity in several languages. Santa would have warned him about landing on the naughty list for it, but he couldn't blame him given the circumstances. It's too early to actually swear online, so I'm not gonna. And I don't even know how many languages do I know swears in. Verpiss dich, Arschloch! De puta madre! That's Spanish, not French. I'm gonna try shout all the curses I know in different languages, which is not a lot. Absurd, Crandall. Reindeer are herbivorous. Crandall slung a slew of profanity in several. That's F you asshole in Japanese. Crandall slung a slew of profanity in. No, don't overwrite it. Several languages. Santa. Several languages. No, don't overwrite it. How dare you? Would have warned him about landing on the naughty list. Would have warned him. Why is it overwriting it? Stop! Puta madre! It's about all I know. Crandall slung a slew of profanity in several languages. Santa would have warned him about landing on the naughty list for it. I couldn't blame him given the circumstance. Oh no. It also doesn't really mean F you asshole in Japanese. It's just because they don't really curse. I used to live in Japan. It was a very nice place. They were very nice to me. So no one really curses over there. I blame him given the circumstances. Shelley returned. Wrong track, friend. Huh? How do you figure that, eh? My brother, eh? You like doing that, like making mistakes? Shelley returned with an armful of white towels embroidered with Christmas trees around the edges and embellished with gold and red trim. They were Santa's favourites, so of course she'd chosen them specifically. He shot her a glare. With not even a hint of regret, she fired one back at him as she crouched next to Crandall and wrapped the first of them around his bloody stump. The fabric reddened to a deep Christmas crimson immediately. Like Crandall's hand, those towels would never be the same again. Get your head out of the snow and listen to me, Santa, Crandall growled. Blitzen bit off my hand and ate it. He kept coming after me, but I ran out and locked him in the stable. That means... Horror gripped Santa's very soul, and he barely managed to stifle a gasp. He's in there with the rest of them. That's not good, folks. Let me tell you right there. That is not good. Go. Them. Wide-eyed, Santa bolted upright. He hurried over to the closet, pulled out his white rabbit fur traveling coat, the heaviest coat he owned, and tossed it onto the flip. I did not swear. Them. Wide-eyed, Santa bolted upright. Wide-eyed, Santa bolted upright. He hurried over to the closet, pulled out his white rabbit fur traveling coat, the heaviest coat he owned, and tossed it onto the nearest kitchen chair. He looked at Shelley. I've got to handle this. He looked at Shelley. I've got to handle this. How dare you interrupt me? Me? Chair. He looked at Shelley. That's the wrong track, eh? You've done this before, eh? Fella? Friend? He looked at Shelley. I've got to handle this. No kidding, she said. Her voice flapped. Santa shot her another glare. Crandall moaned, and Shelley wrapped one of the towels around his shoulders. The expanding pool of blood reached the polar bear skin rug on the floor in front of their walrus leather sofa and stained the edge of it scarlet. Santa lamented the damage, but he had more pressing concerns. If Blitzen had truly gone mad, on Christmas Eve no less, there was little time to intervene. He grabbed Cherry, his silver 12-gauge shotgun, from the hooks above the fireplace mantel. He blew the dust off the top of its 3 barrels, ran his fingers over its engraved cherry wood stock. Ah! It's Maria. Yes, he was on the second orange track. However, all the orange tracks are me. So it doesn't really matter as long as I know what actor is assigned to. And with the elf being assigned, with Crandall being assigned to me, it's as long as he's on an orange track, I can overlap if I have to do 2 characters, you know what I mean? So orange indicates me. That was the color I was able to get when I joined Sound Booth. And I like it. Yeah, I like it. Pretty sure the elf was on a shelf. Very good. It's engraved cherry wood stock. Cherry wood stock. Cherry wood stock. He blew. I know how to do inflections. I've done them before. I know exactly what to do. No! How dare you mock my eyebrow movements? I have seen this on my videos before, that my eyebrows do some stuff that I'm not aware is happening when I'm doing it, you know? And from the hooks above the fireplace mantel. And then I look back and I see a video and be like, what? What is going on with these brows, man? Above the fireplace mantel. Above the fireplace mantel. Above the fireplace mantel. He blew the dust off the top of its 3 barrels, ran his fingers. He blew the dust off the top of its 3 barrels, ran his fingers over its He blew the dust off the top of its 3 barrels, ran his fingers over its engraved cherrywood stock, and polished it all to a quick holiday shine. He popped it open, confirmed the 3 shells inside, and clanked it shut. He leaned Cherry against the doorpost and tugged on his boots. I'm going. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Going. We'll be fine. Fine, Shelley snapped. Jib switch will be here soon. Just go take care of it. That's terrible. That is a disgrace. Of it? Santa's jaw tightened, but he pulled on his traveling coat, clasped his black leather belt around it, opened the front door to his house, and stepped into the howling landscape. Arctic winters meant no sunshine and bitter cold, and they lasted from October clear into early March. He tightened his grip on Cherry and squinted into the darkness. Icy wind whipped tiny granules of snow that stung his cheeks, nose, and forehead. Were it not for his home's well-lit exterior and the LED lampposts that lined his path, he would have been all but blind. I thank you. I'm glad you're loving it. I'm loving that you're loving it. Let me see right here. Let me just make sure I get this thing. You must be joking me. Sorry, I'm trying to copy and paste the thing. And I gotta tell you, friends, it ain't working. It is not working. But we're gonna get it to work. There we go. We done did it. Okay, blind. Back to the shios. Even though cold temperatures couldn't harm him, one of the benefits of being Santa Claus, He still hadn't braved a blizzard like this for decades. He wouldn't have tonight either, but he couldn't ignore an elf missing a hand and claims of a carnivorous reindeer loose in his stable, especially on Christmas Eve. He unlatched his fingers from the shotgun and snatched under his thick white beard. Snatched? He did not snatch, he scratched, didn't he? Fingers from the... Ha ha ha! Where are we? Especially on Christmas Eve. He unlatched his fingers from the shotgun and scratched under his thick white beard. Then he checked for his bowie knife on his belt. It still hung there where he left it, just in case. Snow crunched under Santa's black boots with each hurried step toward the old wooden stable. He shifted his travelling coat on his shoulders, the same coat he wore when delivering presents and making public appearances at shopping malls all over the world. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. A beard of holding! Can you imagine a beard of holding? I want it. He stopped at the stable doors and pressed his ear against the wooden slats, listening. Even amid the roar of the Arctic wind around him, he still heard a low growl, almost a moan, earthy and primitive, emanating from inside the stable, followed by a chorus of grunts. Santa cursed, though he knew he shouldn't have. What right did he have to hold others accountable when he so often slipped up himself? He clamped down on the door handle and pulled, and the door hinges creaked amid the animal noises. He stepped inside and left the majority of the blizzard behind him. And that's where we're going to stop for the narration. I do want to add the world a little something here. Up at the stable doors and the roar of the Arctic wind around. Here we go, yeah. This looks really strange, just going to tell you. Listening. Even amid the roar of the Arctic wind around him, he still heard a low growl, almost a moan, earthy and primitive, emanating from inside the stable, followed by a chorus of grunts. Now, what I'm going to do to make that sound more effective is just lower the pitch a small bit to hopefully get a better effect. This is what it sounds like on its own. Pressed his ear against the wooden slats, listening. Even amid the roar of the Arctic wind around him, he still heard a low growl, almost a moan, earthy and primitive, emanating from inside the stable, followed by a chorus of grunts. All right. Hui! That stuff can wreck your voice, so you have to like really warm up to do it properly. So that is a little bit of the first chapter of What the Frost. You can see here how our sets are laid out. And other actors will be, we have, I think, a total of 4 maybe on this one. So that'll be fun to play with all of them. And we're hoping to have it out this year. Hope so. In time for Christmas. Christmas! So I hope you all enjoyed it. I have 50 seconds. So I'm going to draw this farewell out so that you are not feeling bored by the last 30 seconds of this stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. There are some links popping up as if by magic in the comments section. If you enjoy some of my narration stuff, you can join my Patreon. I'm Gary Furlong VO on all the social medias if you want to just take a look there. I narrate on Audible. You can find my name, Gary Furlong. I narrate with Sound Booth sometimes. It's good fun. I love it. And I hope you all have a lovely day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day. Bye.